Hi there guys, and welcome to another tutorial with CMS Superheroes. This tutorial I'm going to be using our Exo theme, and I want to show you a few tips and tricks for creating a new page here. So I'm going to create a brand new page from scratch. I've got a few images that I'm going to use on the page as I build it here, and I've also got the images also on the install ready. So I'm using our one of our demo development sites. So you can see here, so we've got all the home pages that we've currently got live on the site and the pages. So I'm going to create a new services page. So the first thing I need to do is I need to log in to the back end of the website. So I'm just going to do that now. And then once I'm logged in there, oh, so we're in there now. So the way I just normally refresh the front end so that we get the control bar at the top. And then if we in the back end, so we're going to go to pages, and I'm just going to add a new page. So I just want to start from scratch and show you how you can configure all your individual pages. So the page that I'm going to create, I'm actually just going to initially call it services. I think we'll call it services 1 Lite. So it's services 1 Lite. So that's the name of the page. I'm just going to publish that straight off. All I've done there is give it the page a title, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to our menu so we can look at the page. So if I go to appearance and menus now, I'm going to open this up in another tab. I did that by pressing the control key, so I can keep that window open and I don't need to navigate back to it. And then you can see there are pages in the menu. I'm just going to add that in there. Let's drag it up to position. Keep going, keep going. So here we go, services. So I'm going to stick this one at the top, services 1 Lite. So save that. And then if we refresh the home page of the theme here, you'll see now that we have got the page in here, services 1 Lite. So I'm going to click on that page. So that's the default page that it gives us. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to remove the title bar if that's what you want to do. So we're going to go down to the theme options here. Now the first thing that we need to do is we need to make the page full width. So I'm going to tick that on because I want the page to be full width. And then the page title, all we need to do is go down to the page settings. So we've got all the different page settings here for individual pages. If I just tick that on, and that's all I need to do there, because if we want to show the page title, we tick it on and it gives us all the options. If I want to tick it off, I just tick it off. So that's all I do there. So I'm going to leave that as off. So if I now update that, then we go to the front end of the site, refresh that page, the page title's gone. So we've got a blank page now ready to go. Now the next thing that I want to do is if we go and have a look at, so the way the Exo theme works is you've got different agency and corporate pages, and we've got dark versions, light versions, then different page layouts. So the one that I'm doing here is services 1 Lite. So if we look at agency 1 Lite, if we look at this home page, you'll see here that we've got a white header with the different font colors and the different logo. So that's what I want to appear for the same for the services one. So if I go down here, service one, I'm going to navigate back to that page. So we're on this page here now. So what I want to do is I'm going to go back into the editor at the back end, and we're going to edit the header first. So if we click on the header tab here, and we've got different options, so we want to tick on header settings because we do want to use these header settings. So the first thing that we need to do is, again, you can look at all these different settings, but for this one that we're going to work on here, we need to change the logo, because the actual logo that we want to, just let me open up the Agency 1 Lite in a new tab so we can see what we're working with here. So you can see here we've got a black logo instead of the default whiteout logo. So we go in here now, so we're going to just select a different logo. And obviously I've already got this loaded up here for the with the demo content, so just need to wait for these images to load. And then we'll pick out the black logo, which is there. So we've got the Exo theme logo, so just select that. Then what we need to do is we need to set the background settings. So I'm just going to copy this over. So we need a white background, and then you can set the different background colors for the sticky header if you want, the different logo on the sticky header. There's many different options in here, but for this header at the moment, all I need to do on there is change the logo and the background color. So if I update that first, and then we go to that page and have a look at what it's done. Just refresh the page. You'll see now we've got a white header, but obviously the font colors are wrong, and the actual drop-down menu isn't how we want it because it needs to match with the white one. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to go to the menu tab. So if we go in here, and then once we're in there, so we can start setting these colors. So what I'm going to do, the way that I've done this is I've got another browser window open here, which you can see here, and all I'm going to do is copy the settings. So if you've installed the demo content or you want to start adding your own colors, you can start adding the colors. So it's just a quicker way for me to show you this demo, but obviously you can pick the different colors for the different areas of the menu. So this is going to tie in with the agency light pages of the Exo theme. So there we go, we've got those first set of colours, and I think that's all we need, to be honest. So then the next thing we'll do is we'll just update that page and we'll look at where we're at. So once that's saved, and then we refresh the page, you can see now we're starting to get the menu as we want. So we've got a white drop down menu, and that's all set now. So then the next thing we need to do is we need to change the footer so that the footer fits in with the light theme version. So the same again, it's exactly the same. On your individual page options, if we go down to the bottom here, you've got the footer settings. So if I go over here, and I'm just going to, oops, pardon me, I'm just going to get these colours. So I'm going to work from the bottom up. I just find it a little bit quicker and easier to work from the bottom up as I'm copying and pasting. So the footer bottom obviously is this area, so you're controlling the colours on this area. So I've done that there. So then the arrow colour at the bottom, that is this, so you're controlling the arrow colour there. And then we just need to get the rest of these colours. So I put that in there, so I've just got that colour there as well. And then one other thing that we need to do here for the footer is, because we're using a different set of logos at the bottom, so the black logo and the hover colour for this box is we just need to put a class on there. So we've actually created a couple of classes that are in the theme. So you've got your home light class. So if I save this now, and then we refresh the page, you'll see now that we've got the new footer, new header. So you can see how quickly and easy we can start developing different pages and theme styles here. So we've got a light coloured header and the light coloured footer. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start developing our page. So if we go in here now, and I want to go into the back-end editor, so we're going to start using Visual Composer, and the first thing that we're going to add is going to be, and I'm designing this page straight off the cuff here. I've got no PSD, I'm just creating a page straight out of my head. So we're going to create a text box, I think. So I'll just find a text box. Yeah, we'll use a text box. So this is a services page. So again, I'm coming up with dummy text as I think about it here. So we develop and deliver stunning WordPress themes and dedicated support, which we do. So I'll just put that in there, and we're going to set that. Let's set that as a heading 2 for now. Let's see how that turns out. So we'll do that. We'll take that. Just put that there. So then the next thing so again, if we just update that, again, you can update your page as many times as you want as you're building the page, just to see what it looks like. So you can see we've got this text in here now. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to put a background image on this. So I'm going to go into the raw settings, and we're going to set the style, design option, sorry, and we're just going to pick a background image. Now I've got an image here that I've pre-selected that I want to use. So I'm just going to open this in Photoshop, and I'm just going to resize it. So this is the image that I want to use. We get our images from Shutterstock and various resources on the internet. So I'm just going to resave this image now, and I normally save them at 1400 width. So we'll save that, and then we'll save that as optimized for the web. So we're going to save it as a JPEG. High, 60% I normally think is okay, so we'll save that. And we'll just call it services 1 light. Onto my desktop, save that. So we can see here we've got the image. So if I get rid of Photoshop now, so I'm just going to drag this on here. So we've got services 1 light, so I'm going to set that as the background image. So we've got that there. So and I'm just going to put a bit of padding on here, so we'll look at that 80 pixels at the top and bottom of this row. So if we save that, if we update it, I mean, some people like to view the page or do a preview. I like to have things open in different tabs and save it as I go along, so I can see the page being built and delivered as I build it. So you can see here we've got the text in here. So I'm just going to now, what do we want to do? I want to put some more text under here. So I'm going to duplicate this text block. I'm going to edit that, and then I'm just going to put some dummy text in here that I'm just copying off the internet, and we just want to make it let's make it a heading 5, see what that looks like. So again, all your font settings and the different font sizes are all set in your main Exo theme details, so the admin for the actual theme. So in here obviously you've got typography, so if you wanted to go and change these globally, the different sizes for the fonts, if I'm just update that, and then if we refresh the page, so we're getting that on there. So what I want to do now, so if we're looking at the actual page that we're copying here, so we've got the light page, so if I go to the About Us Agency 1 light, you'll see that it's using a lot of white opacity over the image. So this image at the moment is way too strong, so I'm going to edit that. So I'll go back into the raw settings, and then if we go to style, and we need to set the row to a custom row, you'll see you get all these options here. So we want to add an overlay color of white, and we'll set that to about 0.6, and we'll see what we get there. And I also want to add a bit more padding just to give us more of this image to view. So if I go back here, so I'm going to set this to 140 and 140, save that. So if we update again, refresh the page, so you can see here now our page is although the white opacity is missing there, just let me go and check why that hasn't come on. Oh yep, sorry, I understand why that hasn't come on. So if we go back, so even we develop the themes and we put that many options in it, sometimes forget, so we need to go back into the raw, and the reason that hasn't come on is because we need to turn on parallax so that it enables the color overlay as well. So the background ratio we'll leave it at 0.8, so we'll save that, update this again, and there you see we've got the overlay color now. Now the image has moved slightly because we've turned the parallax on, so you can mess around with the ratio to see how that works. So but you can see here we've got the nice header with some text on there that we wanted. Now I want to change the line height slightly on here, because I'm not happy with that line height. So what I can do in here is in the text block, again, I could go into the theme options. In fact, I will do that. So let me just check. So I just want to check. So it's a heading 2. So I'm just going to just resave the page, make sure I haven't done anything. And then I'm going to open up another tab and I'm going to go over to Exo Themes options. So if we open up here, so you're seeing here, these are the global options for the Exo theme. Now what I want to do is I want to go to typography, and if we go to headings, you'll see here we've got heading 2. So we've got a font size of 44 and a line height of 69. That is a bit too much. So all I need to do there is if we change that to maybe 56, and it gives you a preview here of what it'll look like. So that's fine, is that. So if we now save those settings, and then we go back to the theme page, the page that we're developing, you'll see the line height has changed there. So that's looking a lot better now with the the line height on the actual page. So again, we'll go back here. I want a bit more space between here. So I'm just going to use the visual composer again, empty space. So we're just going to add some empty space between that. And we'll add 32 pixels. We'll leave that as it is. So we'll just drop that in there, update that again. So refresh the page. So there we go. We've got a nice header. So if I just look at this, so we're using black text, that's fine. So then the next thing that I want to do is, or the design that I've got in my head, is I want to add what are called fancy boxes. So if I go here and just show you here, so if we go to fancy icon boxes, and you'll see here we have different icon boxes that you can use, but the settings within these icon boxes allow you to create any style of icon of what we call fancy icon boxes. So the one that I want to use is this one here. Now this is a quick tip and trick on how quickly you can develop pages instead of going to the edit page and creating a new row. So I'm just going to show you this now. So if we go to new row and we say, right, I want to create, I'm going to find this now, fancy icon box. Oh, where my eyes are deceiving me there, fancy icon box. So we select that, and then obviously you get the settings for the individual icon box, and you've got quite a lot of settings in here. So this is why we create the default styles for you, so you can quickly use them instead of having to go through all this setup. But if you do have a bespoke design and you want to change that, you can obviously do that. So I'm going to just save that, and you'll see there we've got a fancy icon box. Now this is the way I work, is the way that, we've already built, well, let me get to the correct page. We've already built all these options for you. So the way that I do this is I want to edit that page, and I open it in a new tab. So we've got this new tab open in here. Now the icons that I want to use on my page are these ones here. So they are the 5th one down, I think. So it's 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, 4 row, 5 row, 6th row down. So we're the 6th row down. So we've got row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. So it's this row that I want to use here for my new page. So all I need to do is, there's different ways to do this, but this is the way I'll show you, which is, see, if you just delete the rows you don't want on this page and just let the page refresh itself. So we just keep deleting away until so sorry about that, my browser just messed up then. So we're just going to delete the rows that we don't want. So there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the row that we want, so we keep that one. And let's just get rid of the others. This is just a little web designer's tip for creating quicker pages. So we've got the only row that we need left there. So if you go to classic mode, go to text, click on the text tab, and then all you do is select all that text, copy it, and then if we go to the page that we're editing, which is this page here, So you can see there's the fancy box that we added, just to show you where it was. So if we go classic mode, text, and then all we do is paste that code underneath underneath the existing code, and go back to the back-end editor, and then be sure to close your other page down. You don't want to overwrite that page unless you do, but I'm closing that and I'm leaving that page. I'm not overwriting it. So I'm not saving the rows, the page and the rows that I deleted. So you go back to this page and you'll see here now we've got the fancy boxes. So I'm going to delete the blank row that it's put in there, and I'm going to delete the dummy row that I've put in to show you. So if I update that page now, and then we refresh this, you'll see here now that we've got the new row in here. Now I'm going to edit some of this slightly to show you some of the settings that we can edit. So within fancy icon boxes here, I'm going to make it, well, just close that actually. We're actually going to delete the end one because we only want 3 columns. So I'm just going to change that to 3 columns. And then we're going to go in here, and then we're going to say, right, I don't want, so you can choose icons. You've got your different icon libraries. You can choose whichever icon you want to appear in this box here. Now I'm actually going to use an image, so I'm going to turn the icon off. I'm going to go to the image, click on the image tab, and then I've got 3 icon images that I've already created here. So there we go. So I'm going to put that one in first. So we set that image and put that in there. Oh, sorry, I just need to get the size of the image. So the size is 168 by 140. So we just need to go 168 by 140. And just need to find, so the content align I want to be left. So everything else can stay as is. So if I save that now, and then if we update that page, and refresh, you'll see here now we're getting the icons that we want. So what I'm going to carry on doing here is I'm just going to edit this a little bit more. So the title color, let's see. So I'm going to leave that as it is, but we're going to change the actual title to theme development. Keep it all capitals there. And I'm going to change the title to a H5 size. Sorry, a H3 size. Save that. I'm going to put a bit of padding on this row just to pull it away from here. So we'll put 8 pixels on there. If we update that, refresh the page. So there you can see I'm not happy with that title, so I'm going to change that back to a H4. And in fact, I'm just going to check on this page. So you're keeping the actual titles in line. So they're black titles and they're a H4 size, so that's what we need to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the color of this text here. So if I inspect that element, and so we're using 222 as the color. So title color, so that can go there. So we've got a hover color that we've set there, and we're going to change it back to a H4. So that's fine. So save that, update that. Refresh the page. So I'm happy with that now. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So you can see the hover color there when we hover over the title. So now we've got that. So instead of messing around with all these settings here, I'm just going to delete these boxes that we already have in here, and then I'm just going to copy this one, drag and drop it, drag and drop it, and then we'll just change the image and the title on here. So let's go to the image. So we're going to choose that disk, and we're going to change the title to system maintenance. Let's save that, and then we'll do the last one, and then the image here, we're going to use the network, and we're going to change the title to dedicated support. Again, I'm making this up as I go along, so if it looks a little weird, some of it, but it is just demo content for this demo site. So I'm refreshing the page so you can see there. Now I do think those logos are a little big, so there might be one of two ways that I can do this. So let's go back into here. In fact, I'm just going to open up one of these images in Photoshop, and I'm just going to look at what size it reduces it down to. So let's say 100. So I think that's better. So it was 100 by 83. So let's see how that works. So we want to say 100 by 83. Update that, and then we'll refresh. So you can see there it's reduced the image. So I just need to do that with all the other ones. So 100 by 83. So which one did I do there? So 100 by 83. So I get the last one. So where am I? 100 by 83. So save that. Let's update that. Have a quick look. Refresh the page. So I'm much happier with that now. Looks a lot better. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to add a few lists under each of these. So if I go, so it's the same again really. If I go to the back end, I'm going to add a new row. And because this, well, I don't need to add a new row for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an empty space here. I'm going to leave that at 32. And then I'm going to add a text block. And we're just going to get some dummy text. Which I will get from another window that I have open here. So we're just going to go bang that in there, and we want it to be a list. So if I just select list there, and then let's just do this quickly, and I'll change the content. In fact, no, let's do it right. Let's do it right. So I'm just getting text from another window here and pasting that in there. So we've got the dummy text. So we've got that there. So if we save that now, let's update that page and take a look. So you see there we've got our bullet list. So I just need to sort that text out as to why it is there, and it might be because, yeah, you see here on the column settings we've got the text aligned to center. We just need to change that to left. So you've got different settings as well on your columns. So we just save that, update that. And then there we go, we've got that list under there. So that's exactly what I want. And then I am going to copy this across. You know, and because this is dummy content, I'm just going to leave this as is, but you would change your text obviously to accommodate what services your business or your client's company offers. So we just update that. So there we go, we've got a list of services under each column there that we've put in there. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to add a Parallax Raw down here just to do a bit of a point of sale. So in the back end of the site here, I am just going to add another row, and then we're going to use a custom heading here so that we can manage the font separately to what the theme options are. So I'm just going to so let's just create this page. So that's the title that we want to put in there. We'll give it a tag of H2, so you can choose your actual tag. We want the text to be aligned center. The font size, I'll just do a test and we'll just do it at 36 pixels, and the align height. So you see here you've got total independence of what you're doing here. The text I'm going to say is white, and the font face that we use for this theme is Lato, but obviously you can use all the fonts that are available in Google there. And we're just going to use bold regular. So if I save that now, and then the next thing that I want to do is I want to add an image for the background raw that is going to be parallax. So we've got plenty of images uploaded here, so I'm sure I can find one which will work with this creative page. So just let me have a scan down here. What size is that one? So that's a decent size, so we can use this one. So let's just set that as the image. Again, let's just set the padding there. The style, we want to set that as a custom style. We want to enable the parallax, and we want the color overlay. This time we're going to go for a black color overlay, and we're going to set it to 0.4. So if we save that now, and then we update the page, just refresh that. So you can see here now we're starting to get the image in the middle with the text, and we want to add a bit more text, and then we want to add a button on there as well. So let's just, in fact I am just going to make that text a little bit bigger. So we'll make that 42 on 46 pixels, save that, and then we want to add an empty space, so I'm just going to duplicate that one, drop that down there, and then we want to add a text block, which I am going to just add there, and we're going to add 2 lines of text which want to be centered. If we save that, and we'll make that into a H5, we'll save that, and we'll make the text white as well. There's different ways to edit your text color. So I mean, well, if I undo that actually, so we'll leave that text as black, and then so you can set your text colors in your column here. So you've got font color there if you wanted to, but if it's that, so that's for a paragraph area on your page. But if you want to change the heading colors, you can change them in the row settings. So if we save that and then update the page, and then we refresh that, so you can see now we're getting more of the text in there. So I just want to put some more padding on there. So if we just say, let's say 140 for the padding, and I'm going to change this because I want it to go back to being a paragraph and not a heading. So if I just save that, and that means I'll have to change the font color in the column to white. Save that. Let's update that and see what we look like. So we can see there now, Purchase Exo Theme, so that's looking good. So that text wants to be a little bit bigger. So the way that I would normally do this is with the code, because I don't think, yeah, you don't really have. So what I do here is you've got your style, so I just change style there and then go font size, then your colon, and then if we set that to 20 pixels, and then your semicolon to close it. So if we save that, then update that. So that's better. Happier with that now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a button down here. So all we do, so we're going to add another empty space to keep spacing this out nicely. And then we're going to add a button. So if I go here, so we've got the different button options once this window opens up here. So if I just go to, where am I now? So if I go here and go to shortcodes and buttons, this gives you an example page of the different buttons. So we're going onto an image in the back with the background. So I'm going to change it to the default alternate color button. So purchase Exo Theme now. So we've got to put a link in there, so we just put the hashtag in there just to that, and it was a default, oh, I can't actually remember what it was called there, the default alternate colour. So default alternate colour, so we're going to say we want a small button, and it wants to be centered. You can actually override the colour, the hover colour of the button if you want to, but we don't need to on this occasion. So if I save that now, then we update that. And then you see here now we've got the button on there with the parallax background. And there's one last thing that I want to add down here, just a couple of columns of text. So if I then go down here, I want to add a new row, it's just going to be a text block. And then in that text block, we are just going to add some text, which is there. Let's put a full stop on that. Save that. We want this to be that style there, so we're going to copy this as well. We're going to edit that text, and we'll just take that to there. Save that. So if we just put some padding on here as well. So we've got 8 pixels, 8 pixels. And then for the heading, let's just see. So yeah, we haven't used that. So what we'll do is we'll add a custom heading. Sorry, no we won't, no we won't. We'll just put the heading inside here. And so we develop online businesses. Again, I'm making this up as I go along. So heading 4, and then the same in here. Delivering results. And many of our themes do deliver results. So if I update that now, and then we refresh the page, you'll see there how quickly we have just developed a new page. Just wants a bit more padding down there just to even that out. So I'll just put another 10 pixels on the bottom padding just to make it look even. And you'll see that within 20 minutes we've built a page from scratch. There's no design involved there. I've just literally out the top of my head decided what I want on each row, and that's what we've done. We've built a page, a services page that goes in line with all the other services, with all the other agency-like ones that we've already developed on this theme, and we are constantly adding pages and layouts to the Exo theme for you to deliver clean, corporate and agency-based themes. So thank you very much for watching. If you need any help or support, please don't hesitate to contact us and we'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you very much.